Thursday, Chiefs-Ravens open up the NFL season tonight, live in Los Angeles. It's The Herd. Wherever you may be and however you may be listening, thanks for making us part of your day. 5 minutes, Greg Cosell. This is what he does. He looks at film. 45 years at NFL Films. Nobody more honest and objective than Greg Cosell, playing no favorites. He'll join us in 5 minutes. I think you and I tonight like the Chiefs, but we caution everybody, you're kind of going blind in these opening games. Also, all the experts, or what we call the sharps, have just nibbled at all these lines. So the worst week to bet is week 1 because the experts, by the way, Texas, Michigan, the over-under, it opened at like 48. Now it's down to 42.5. So at 48, the bet was the under Texas, Michigan. Well, now it's down to 42.5. My guess is the over's the bet. So I strongly felt bet the under, it's low scoring. Now it's gone down so much, almost a touchdown. I think you can argue the over is the better bet.
Yeah, and remember, you don't have to do a side. You can do parlays, teasers, first half under, Chiefs, Ravens. You might as well hit that. You know they're going to start out slow. Come on, it's week 1. No, the guys aren't. Lamar didn't play in the preseason, so you don't have to straight up pick a side, Colin. You get exotic.
All right. Well, I'm all for getting exotic. Here we go. It's my final NFL predictions, playoffs, seeding, divisions as we go into week 1. I've watched the draft. I've watched the coaching hires. I've watched free agency. I've watched the camp. I've watched injuries. Here's what I see. AFC East, I'm making no changes. Bills, Dolphins, Jets, Patriots. I think the Dolphins and the Jets play to the final weekend for a playoff spot. AFC North, I made a slight alteration. Ravens, Bengals, Browns, Steelers. I flipped Browns from 4th to 3rd, Steelers 3rd to 4th. I'm not buying Pittsburgh. AFC South, I feel very strongly about the Texans. Kind of a question mark after that, but I'll go Texans, Jags, Colts, Titans. AFC West, I think it's Kansas City's to lose. Chargers will challenge and be good immediately. Broncos better than people think with Bo Nix. Raiders playing for 4th. In the NFC East, Eagles easily have the best roster. My shocker in the NFL, my Houston of last year is Washington. Finishes 2nd. Cowboys pull back. If CeeDee Lamb got hurt, I don't even know what that offense is. And the Giants in 4th. NFC North, everybody likes the Lions. I'll take the Packers to win. Lions wild card. Bears, Vikings. Very, very fun offensive teams with some limitations. Bears 3rd, Vikings 4th. NFC South, I think the Falcons run away with it, though they may lose to Pittsburgh in the opener. Falcons, Bucks, Panthers, Saints. NFC West, I am high on the Rams. Niners 2nd. Seahawks, I don't know what to make of them. I like them in week 1 with rookie quarterback Bo Nix, but I don't know what to make of Seattle. I like their roster. I like it a lot. Arizona 4th. So my playoff teams will look like this. In the AFC, the Bills, Ravens, Texans, Chiefs win the division. Joe Burrow's upright. He makes the playoffs. So do the Dolphins, edging out the Jets in the final weekend. And the Jags, by the way, Dolphins, Jags meet this weekend. NFC, it's the Eagles, Packers, Falcons, Rams. 2 excellent wild card teams, the Niners and the Lions. Commanders probably a one and done in the playoffs, but I like their story. They cleaned house. The building is better for it. There we go. J-Mac is laughing and rolling his eyes. Somebody's got to come out of this league shocking us, and Washington's my shocking pick.
I don't hate that. I think, what did you say, that you're high on the Rams? Well, there's a saying, never get high on your own supply. Okay? And I think you're way off on the Rams. Where are my Jets? Cowherd, this is a colossal whiff by you. Bills and Dolphins and no Jets?
Feel good about it.
You know Cosell's going to be in on the Jets.
Here we go. Greg Cosell, 45 years NFL Films every Thursday, top of the hour, 2nd hour, and he is joining us now live. So I think one of the more compelling games, and I've said this before, Greg, I can like a team, but not like them in week 1. Rams have had some offensive line issues in camp, little musical chairs here. I don't love that. Here comes a team, Detroit, stacked, healthy, did lose a kicker. But the Lions play 14 indoor games this year. Do you expect, it's almost tailor-made for Goff, his style, indoor games. I would imagine the film tells you this is a Super Bowl worthy team.
Yeah, I would say that defense would be the question. They knew that they had to address the corner position. because Aaron Glenn, at his core, he's their defensive coordinator, Colin. He would like to pressure. And when he's pressured in the past, he didn't quite have the back end play to accommodate that. But he's very good, Aaron Glenn, with pressure concepts. I think that's the way he wants to go. So I think much will depend on their defense. Offensively, they've got a real, Goff, he's from the West Coast. Goff is one of your classic pocket quarterbacks. It's a really well-schemed passing game. They do a great job with the spacing of routes to attack and defeat zone coverage. So this is a really good pass game. And Goff is as good a pure pocket thrower as there is in the NFL.
Matt Stafford and the Rams, they're young on the defensive side, 5 of their top 6 defense, but I thought last year, by the end of the year, it was a really interesting unit. They've got the weapons. I think Blake, the kid out of Michigan, Corum, the running back, will give them a tandem with Kyron Williams and Blake Corum. I like this team a lot. Your thoughts on the Rams? I'm high on them.
Well, they've got the best quarterback in the NFC in Matthew Stafford. They revamped their O-line. They've gotten bigger, and I think that's a function of how they want their run game to look. They run inside much more than they did, let's say, in the McVay years when they had Todd Gurley, when outside zone was the foundation. Now they run inside a lot more gap scheme runs with pulling linemen, more what we call duo. Those are inside runs with double teams inside. That fits Kyron Williams. It will fit Blake Corum if he gets meaningful snaps. And as I said, they've got the best quarterback in the NFC. If Stafford can stay healthy, this is a contending team.
So Jim Harbaugh at Stanford, he took over a mess, 1-11. First year, he beat USC as a 40-point dog. He did it at San Francisco. They were a mess. He did it at Michigan. But he's never entered a rebuild with a great franchise guy in Justin Herbert. What do you expect year one?
Well, they obviously hired Greg Roman as their OC. So that he wants to establish a physical nature to his offense, that he does want to run the ball. That's been his history. He's not going to change. I think what you'll see a lot of is the play-action pass game with Herbert, put him under center, make the run game and the pass game look similar. We know that Greg Roman is as good a run game designer as there is in the NFL. So I think the offense will look different than it's looked. But you're dealing with a quarterback in Herbert, as you suggested, and it's true. In terms of pure physical traits, he's top 3, 4 in the league. So the question is, how's the rest of the team going to look? I think the sense is that Herbert can be the kind of guy that can carry a team at times. I think people have questions about that. But physically, traits-wise, he can do that.
Aaron Rodgers and Kirk Cousins are coming off Achilles injuries. Aaron was always the more nimble, twitchy athlete. Do you, either one of them, you expect more or less from?
I've always been a big Kirk Cousins guy. I know a lot of people look at him and think he hasn't played in a lot of big games, or when he does, he doesn't play well. But he is a very efficient quarterback. He's one of those guys that if you reduce the quarterback position to simplest terms, to, throw to the right receiver with the right kind of throw at the right time, he is really good at that. He makes good decisions and he throws it straight. And that's pretty much what you want your quarterback to do. So he's a very professional quarterback. I think an overlooked element of the Falcons, Colin, is they have a really good offensive line and everybody's back. You could make the argument their O-line is top 5 in the NFL, and I would expect Bijan Robinson in that offense with Zach Robinson, who is now the OC there. I would expect them to run the ball very efficiently. Aaron Rodgers, I'm very anxious to see. He's older. He's coming off a pretty significant injury. 2 years ago when he played, I thought his legs were not quite the same. And I don't mean running around. I just mean the way that he played the game. His legs were not quite there the same way. But the bottom line is we may have never seen anybody in the history of the league throw the ball better than Aaron Rodgers. And if he can be protected, if Tyron Smith can stay healthy, then he may not have to move around a lot, and he can certainly throw the ball, and they've got weapons.
Okay, Philadelphia, when they had Shane Steichen, Sirianni gave out play calling, was magic. So here comes Kellen Moore with Jalen Hurts. You know both Hurts and Kellen's tendencies. What do you expect in that relationship?
Hard to know, but I would say that what you're going to see is an offense that we think of more like the way the league is trending. You're going to see more motion. You're going to see, I think, a little more creativity in the offense. You know, obviously they have a great O-line coach in Jeff Stalin and a great O-line, and I think they want to still count on that as a big factor. The question to me, and there's so much speculation, as you know, look, we have 16 new OCs in the league, 17 new DCs, so there's a lot of guesswork right now. But I'm very curious to see what the balance is going to be run pass. Saquon Barkley is there. You don't sign Barkley to carry the ball 8 or 9 times. We'll see how they plan on using him within the context of a complete offense. But I think you're going to see more creativity and definitely more motion in their offense.
Okay, so Jordan Love, it was a young offense. We saw him be great for about 8 to 9 weeks. There were questions out of Utah State. But I watched him, and I watched him go to Dallas, and I'm like, boy, there is a lot to like. When you watch the film during last year in the offseason, is there another level?